Pat Riley fined by the NBA $25,000. They laid the hammer down. They went and got our guy, Leroy. Now,
That's not a hammer.
I knew that. Nah, it's a hammer. It's a hammer.
That's a tap on the wrist.
It's a hammer. And by the way, Billy Gill from the LeBatard Show. Billy should feel terrible about tricking Pat Riley. He was trying to ask a question about Dwayne Wade. Instead, he lured him in with a little worm. And led Riley right to tampering about LeBron James, saying that he'd leave a shiny key under the mat for LeBron James if he ever wanted to come back, which I would say it's kind of an upset. I didn't expect Riley to say that.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I didn't expect it.
Dude, Riley's about winning.
Nah.
He ain't about, look, everybody has petty in them.
Yep.
But when it gets down to it, when your profession is winning,
right,
you swallow that petty.
So is this
until after it's over?
Is this like with Pat Riley? Like Pat Riley is Cobra Kai? Is this like Cobra Kai and Pat Riley is the sensei, but I've taken it too far as the student?
Yes.
Where he says no mercy?
Yes.
Hey, Pat Riley's been petty before, and he chose petty over winning.
Again.
2016.
What do you mean?
Hey, he chose petty over winning. That was with Dwayne Wade.
Did get personal there.
I mean,
to get personal there, but I find the whole thing it was a mistake question, so it's interesting how
there are no mistake questions.
It was a mistake question. Well, it was a two-parter, and he was asking because I listened to this. It was the only part of the Free Dumb that I watched, which is a hilarious name for their Free Dumb, but spelled dumb like dummy, for their stream. And Pat Riley comes on there. He may have been a couple wines in. I'm just saying, Leroy. And Billy asks him, who was more responsible for LeBron, you or Dwayne Wade? And then is the key still under the mat? But the key under the mat, remember, is a reference to Wade. Like that was a thing where, the paper put there'll always be a key under the mat for you when he left for Chicago. But Riley took it as a question about LeBron.
Yeah, because Dwayne Wade already came back and picked up that key. So
he did. He did. The master lock was ready. He was ready to go in. So Riley, he didn't get the Daryl Morey $75,000 fine, and I believe that was really $150,000 fine because the Sixers also got fined. I don't believe the Heat did. It was only Riles. Right. Only Riles got the fine. It was only $25,000. So
tap on the wrist,
a little slap on the wrist, but still, I mean, it was a mistake. If the Bucks didn't law firm would have taken this, we would have gotten Riley off.
We would have gotten him off.
We would have gotten Riley off.
We would have gotten him off on the grounds of not understanding the question. He was talking about D Wade. He thought he was talking about, and it was tongue in cheek, and I was liquored up.
Kid Elite says he should have used Spo's NBA "Do Not Find Me" magic. Yeah, well, that is Eric Spoelstra's masterpiece.
Right.
He's always able to complain about officiating. Never gets fined.
Here's the funny part about that. It works.
Never gets fined.
But if you think about it, there's two guys that are absolutely just way too cool for school when it comes to basketball coaching. And I'm not putting them in the same level of coaching, but just watching them. One is Eric Spoelstra.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't beat up, doesn't sweat. I haven't seen, even when he's mad, he amuses me. Like when he runs onto the court, just willy-nilly.
The best.
And Brad Stevens. But Brad Stevens, I don't know why he have to take to the next level and fold his arms.
Oh.
Like in the coaching position? Yeah, I'm not turned on by that. You ain't that cool.
Stupid
but
kids.
Can you think of anybody else? That damn Doc Rivers hasn't been able to talk for 5 years. He kicked Joe Louis' ass.
Who's more horse, Doc Rivers or Tom Thibodeau?
No, the most horses is Jim Larinaga.
Oh, yeah. All right, so yesterday, D. Wade and Chris Bosh were on the jump with Rachel Nichols.
I actually saw it live.
Did you? That's cool. They had it. They had. I don't want to get some more into D. Wade a little bit later, because especially I heard some real blasphemous stuff yesterday on our radio station that I need to address. I will address. Yes.
Whoa. Who made you president of 790?
I made me president of 790.
Okay.
And I heard some blasphemous stuff. I heard some blasphemous stuff that I need to address. But D Wade and Chris Bosh got live reaction to Pat Riley getting tampering fines. Here's Chris Bosh first. Let's hear from Chris Bosh. This is what he had to say about Pat Riley getting hit up for $25K.
While smiling.
Oh yeah. They both.
I mean, you know, usually you're used to competing at championship time, and you know, if you're not, if you know the Heat, they're thinking about the next move and things to get better. And yeah, we're living in that world of tampering. I'm pretty sure he meant things tongue in cheek, just a bit, maybe a little serious, but you know, that's what happens. You want to be playing right now. You want to be in the mix, in the fight, competing for an NBA championship, and to not have that, you know, I'm sure he starts going back down memory lane and just thinking of different scenarios, and then he can say what he wants to say. And you know, unfortunately, there's tampering rules for that. But I mean, it's just something that's out there now, and we'll see. We'll see if the key analogy keeps going.
So Chris Bosh having some fun, but pretty diplomatic. Pretty diplomatic from CB. Let's hear what Dwayne Wade had to say about this.
Well, Pat Riley got 25,000 in his dress socks. Right. But just, you know, to stay away from the Utah Jazz getting a fine, I would just say that Pat Riley is doing Pat Riley things.
Okay. All right.
What does that mean?
Pat Riley tampering.
He tampers all the time.
Wait.
He's worse than Magic.
How the hell do you think he makes some of these moves when he makes them without any communication? Just rando player just ends up on the Heat.
Morse code.
Like they just discussed it this morning.
Pat Riley's just like, he goes, yeah, oldest Riles trick in the book. You guys don't know about the tampering part of Heat culture. We do it all the time.
Now, you want me to pull a Tobin and go full silly sauce?
Sure.
Ooh.
What if Pat Riley is laying the groundwork?
I like that.
Right? For young Bron.
Oh, for Bronny?
Yeah.
For
I
Bronny.
think he
Well,
just
I don't
graduated
think
the 10th grade. He's still
isn't
got
that
2 years
just,
of high school.
Is that his choice? Is he allowed to do that?
Wait. LeBron wants to play with his son.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So what if he throws that information out there about LeBron and saying he's always welcome here?
Yeah.
Just in case the situation presents itself and that can happen.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
If Bronny James get drafted by the Kings, LeBron's going to Sacramento?
No.
Wait, what?
I'm just asking. Everybody keeps saying this, like, oh, Bronny.
Can I just say this?
His son will do an Eli and ask not to get drafted by Sacramento.
If I can explain to you, when I got into the league,
yep.
Do you know what the worst place to play football in the league was?
Green Bay.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. It wasn't Tinseltown. They called it punishment. Everybody would say, if you keep acting like this, we're going to trade your ass to Green Bay.
Uh-huh.
Right? We practice against Green Bay in the summer. They ain't nothing but little kids riding grown-ass adults on bikes. That's it. It was nothing there. But, you know, now it's a different story. But you think...
Feels like you're going around my question.
No. You think that right now,
yep,
Sacramento Kings are going to be what they are.
Been terrible for 20 years.
Oh, okay. You want to know the opposite?
What?
Do you know how good Cleveland was in the 80s?
Were they all right?
They were awesome. They had gone to two AFC championship games. Yeah. They were awesome. So when I was at Michigan, all my Ohio friends, all they talk about was the Browns and the Bengals. The Bengals were in the Super Bowl my rookie year. So let's be clear. I could not wait to get to the Cleveland Browns because I thought I was going to compete for championships.
13.
Wrong.
Sorry, man.
Right. So just because Sacramento is terrible now, Golden State wasn't good before Steph and Clay got there.
Yeah, but they had like the We Believe Warriors, you know.
Barrett Davis and Steven Jackson.
Yeah, like there's some
right.
there's
How
some
about
respect
Cleveland?
there.
Cleveland was good
Awful.
when I was there, but they were good when I was there.
Yeah, but LeBron. Oh man, could you imagine if LeBron James' son also had to go to Dan Gilbert? Ugh.
Oh, awkward.
Ugh. Uncomfortable.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, for you to assume that a team is going to be bad or good years from now is crazy.
Julian Ramos says it shouldn't matter where you play. You are a player. It is your job to play and show out. I don't know.
Yeah, Boomer Esiason.
Yeah, shut up.
Hey.
That guy. We have CBS Sports Minute on that guy.
That's tell it. We're gonna start calling him Telemundo Boomer.
So just take a little drive around, Leroy. You know, have 7-Eye the ticket on, old school on my I have the AM dial on my car. You know, no HD radio
With a crackle.
No, I mean I get good signal up here, Robbie. No crackle needed. You know, it's of course once it gets to 7 o'clock, it's a little bit hard times, Daddy. But you know, that's just that powered down. That's neither here nor there. So here's what I gotta say. I'm listening to Hochman and Crowder. Listen to them every day, 2 to 6. All right. They also dive into the silly sauce from time to time. And Hochman is having this debate on his show about Dwayne Wade Boulevard and how Dwayne Wade is not a Miamian anymore. And is basically implying, I didn't hear the whole conversation. I didn't have to. I don't want to hear what his setup is. The fact that he had the audacity to even bring this up annoys me. But is basically saying, is it really the time to be bringing up Dwayne Wade Boulevard when he's on there high-fiving with Donovan Mitchell and he just sold his house in Miami? And I just find all of this hilarious because, first of all, Hochman tried to get his own campaign off the ground. Failed miserably. You know, he said we couldn't get Dwayne Wade Boulevard to be a thing. It's about to be a thing officially next week. Officially christened. I didn't know there was another step. Apparently there is. Mm-hmm. County's got to do it. And that's next week. Easy layup. And this hocus, you know, he gets up there and he tries to do his thing where he didn't get his way with the naming rights. Because what he wanted to do is, remember, he wanted to name the arena after Dwayne Wade. Go street. Why don't we name the arena after Dwayne Wade? That's a stupid idea. You know, who's turning down naming rights? All right, you can't put naming rights on a street. It can't be Verizon Street. All right, but he wanted to come out there with some idea. Oh, let's just name the arena after Dwayne. No, he tried to go over the top to a level that wasn't going to be there. Yeah, it's so dumb. And so now, because his idea failed miserably, and our idea shined because he said our radio show could never get Dwayne Wade Boulevard to be a thing. You know, he laughed at the idea, scoffed at the idea. Now he wants to question Dwayne Wade's meaning to the city of Miami? Really? Because he doesn't have a house, because a house that none of us have ever seen and would never be allowed to go to. We would be escorted off the property if any of us even looked sideways at Dwayne Wade's mansion. Because he sold it for $22 million. Like we're supposed to be mad at a guy for you know, making $20 million on a home. Now he wants to cancel Dwayne Wade Boulevard. It's just dumb. All of this is dumb. Every Heat fan in their feelings about Dwayne Wade doing other things in his life. Hey, the guy gave you 17 seasons. He gave you every meaningful sports moment that you've had over the last 20 years has been tied to him. Outside of Philly Cheese hitting a buzzer beater against the Warriors. Everything else has been tied for him. Everything that you love from LeBron, thank Dwayne Wade. Every championship, thank Dwayne Wade. And because he's given DAP to Spida, now all of a sudden you want to cancel him? Disgusting, Hochman. Cancel your show.
If I'm honest.
Go ahead, Leroy. Oh, by the way, Shannon Crowder's a real one. He's, of course, saying Dwayne Wade deserves the street.
Oh, I thought we already reached that like 2 years ago. No need in,
You're a good one. You're a real one.
Thanks, Bam.
I wonder if he feels that way after he realized you just traded him.
I didn't trade him. Stop saying that. I had the trade machine up, and the only way it was successful was putting his salary in there. And then I rejected the trade in my heart. So stop saying that.
Let me explain something to you. This is how the trade machine works. Once you put a player into the trade machine, that means
nope,
you're willing to go down that rabbit hole.
Nope, you're just playing on a website.
No, that's not true.
Just because you're willing to go to the gambling table doesn't mean you're willing to gamble away your life savings.
That
maybe
sounds
you just
like
want to throw a hundy on it.
That's like, give me $20. No, I'm just kidding, unless you're going to do it. That's how you did that trade. I'm just playing, and then you look out of the corner of your eye to see if it worked.
Also trying to get Heat officials in trouble. Ooh, let me ask you about Dwayne Wade Boulevard. Your act is played, Hackman. This is a thing that shouldn't be a thing. That's weird. I blame Mark Hochman for it, quite frankly. But the Heat fans who are in their feelings about Wade being on the Jazz, now you don't have to like it. You don't have to. I'm not saying you have to like Dwayne Wade on the Jazz. It's weird. I don't.
He's not on the Jazz.
He's on the Jazz. He's on the Jazz. He's basically on the Jazz's coach. He said yesterday that he got Quinn Snyder's approval to coach Donovan Mitchell on the sidelines. Like, he's on the Jazz. It's okay. But I'm not saying you shouldn't feel a little weird about it, but I think it also probably has to do with the fact is the Jazz are really good and we're bounced. We're gone. We're out, Leroy. Out.
Hey, I got to tell you, all you fake ass fans, don't come out saying you have a problem with this, but didn't have a problem when he got rid of D Wade. It ain't all of you, but you know what I'm saying.
The weirdos.
You know where I'm getting at.
So this is what Wade had to say about it. He was interviewed by GQ. He's been doing a lot of press lately because of the show The Cube. Have you watched The Cube yet? Have you watched his new game show?
No.
I kind of want to check it out. Want to check it out. There's a giant cube. It looks fun.
It looks like they're playing beer pong, except in different ways.
Anyway, GQ asked him about, they touched on a lot of stuff. And it says, you and Gabrielle Union have been selling a lot of property recently, a house in Sherman Oaks, another one in Florida. Are you pushing into the real estate? What's your reason? He says, we decided to move out of Miami and come to LA once my career was over. I have businesses in Miami, so I go back and do stuff in the community. But as a family, we're not traveling back there. I didn't want to have a property just sitting in Miami because I'm not really utilizing it. When I bought the house in 2010, I thought I would live in it forever, but life takes you in different places and you got to get up and go with it. So for us, that chapter in that home is closed. In LA, it was the same thing. I'm just trying to be smart. LA, Atlanta, Utah are my areas where I really focus all of my time. So GQ asks him, and they says, some Heat fans could feel that you've abandoned Miami. The weirdos. Have you sensed that at all, especially with your new relationship with the ownership stake in Utah? It may seem silly, but that's part of fandom. He says, no, it doesn't seem silly at all. As an athlete, you get it. But the only thing you can really do is live your life and do the things for you and your family. And one thing I did for Miami in my 14-and-a-half-year career there is give them all that I had. They continue to embrace me and my family, even though we weren't living in that zip code. The love is always there for me. And I always think that it's going to be there from some fans. We experienced something real together, and it's going to last a lifetime. I get it, man. But I'm not just one person to stay in one place. I'm a butterfly, man, and I got to fly.
Damn butterflies.
I got to move. I got to go. So this is just the next step in my journey, but all love to Miami. All love.
Okay. Can somebody send out the memo?
What?
We are no longer using the butterfly as an analogy.
What are you talking about? People use it. It's a thing.
Like
it's a thing.
This guy.
It's so good to struggle. It's so good to overcome adversity.
Right.
It grows you as a human being. It grows you as a leader. And like you say, when it's just like that the butterfly, when it's a caterpillar and it's coming out of the cocoon, it's got to fight its way out. And if it doesn't fight its way out, the wings aren't strong enough to fly. So, you might have somebody want to cut open the cocoon and relieve the pain and, then and not go through the struggle. And all of a sudden you're not strong enough to fly.
That's Mark Richt, former Miami Hurricanes coach.
Okay.
You could hear Leroy laughing in his face.
Anybody, please chime in. When have you ever walked by a cocoon?
Never.
And said, that butterfly seems to be struggling, but I don't want to cut him out because his wings might not be strong enough to fly, and then he won't survive.
I've never, ever seen a butterfly come out of a chrysalis. Never. I don't know what this is. A chrysalis? It's a little cocoon.
Why didn't you just say cocoon?
Yeah, it's different states.
Why you try to big word me?
Sorry.
I don't appreciate it.
We need to have Mark Richt back on at some point.
I apologize. But you laughing in his face when you get that,
or his car, his car turning.
Oh, the car in the background too. Like all of it just makes the clip.
Wait, it probably wasn't nearly as bad as when you almost got us fired in the meeting.
Oh, with the Googles.
I'm not going to another meeting as long as Tobin is there.
I just feel like after that whole explanation, how do you take that seriously?
You don't.
Too.
We gotta have him back on from when the Canes play Alabama for that week. We gotta have him back on.
What other response do you want from that?
We didn't. That's the point. Like we're having a serious conversation. What
were we talking about? It was like I think it was the
it was Jaron Williams, like because Jaron Williams making his first start against Florida.
Williams, yeah.
And it
took a little of a dark turn with the whole cutting.
There are butterflies in
situation.
Dwayne Wade is a butterfly. Mark Richt is a butterfly. Or maybe it's Mark Richt. If he saw Dwayne Wade coming out of his chrysalis, he'd try and help him on the way out. Something like that. Mark Richt was a butterfly. Mark Richt was a Miami butterfly. Then he was an FSU butterfly. Then he thought he was probably his life butterfly at Georgia, but that butterfly flew to Miami because they fired his ass.
Georgia
moth. I got to tell you, I don't know that much about butterflies to know when he's laying in his cocoon and struggling. And I would venture to say, neither does Mark Richt.
The writer goes on to ask Dwayne Wade, what about the Heat, though? You mentioned for a while that you wanted to get into ownership, and Mickey Harrison said that he wanted to give you a chance in Miami, but you went to Utah. Why not the Heat? Wade answered, my basketball career and my business career are two different things. We had a great relationship from a basketball standpoint, but for me, man, this was the best opportunity. Ryan Smith, who's the owner of the Jazz, and I have been friends for a while. He's 42. I'm 39. He's in a business and space and tech that I want to get into and learn more about. And you know what I can bring to the table from a basketball standpoint, and he sees my value. It was just the right fit. I live in LA. Utah is an hour and 15-minute flight over the mountains. Everything was in the right phase of my life. For this part of my life, ownership of the Miami Heat wasn't the step that I wanted to take. I haven't seen many instances when someone plays for an organization or a franchise and gets into ownership. Michael Jordan is not in Chicago. Shaq is not with the Lakers. Grant Hill is not with Atlanta, and so forth. So, once you retire and you're not a player anymore, it's all about business, and you have to put yourself in the best business opportunity for you and your family, and Utah was it for me. Wow, what a jerk, right?
Yeah.
Seems like he's really abandoned us.
Why does Tyler Hero? I'm looking at this picture again.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero picture. He looks like the guy that sings Mamba No. 5.
Like Lou Bega?
Yeah.
He's got a little Monica in his life.
Yeah, he got the little mustache.
Got a little Katia in my life.
I can't.
Anyway, let's get into a little bit of fight game. Check out the rest of that article from D Wade, and I'll give you a couple other stuff. He had some stuff on Bam in there as well, but I just think that it's the most logical explanation. It didn't abandon Miami, and especially guys like Hockman, who's like, take his street away, take it away. These ridiculous takes that are out there. I know it sucks. They're in the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell's doing awesome stuff. Dwayne Wade's having fun with somebody else.
If Utah sucked, would anybody care?
No.
Okay.
No. And the Heat fan wouldn't be as hurt. If we were doing our own thing,
right?
we would probably be like, oh, they're having fun. We're having fun too. We're both having fun.
So anybody that has a problem with it is being phony, right? You're more upset that he's with a franchise or owns a franchise that's winning.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right.
And they have a young star. But don't worry about it. Listen, D-Wade's going to pay this forward anyway because they're going to bounce the Clippers, and then we're getting Kawhi Leonard. And once again, he's going to recruit us a superstar inadvertently.
Why wouldn't he try to get Kawhi Leonard to Utah?
Come on, bro. Plus, I don't think they have the cap space.
Wait, how about this? You think the people in Utah or Kawhi would rather play alongside Spider instead of Paul George?
The people in Utah, would they rather have?
No, with Kawhi, not the people in Utah. Would Kawhi rather play next to Spider or Paul George?
Probably Spider.
Probably Spider. Why would you play off P?
Right. Well, okay, so it's possible if he wants to win.
I don't think that.
Hour and 15-minute flight.
It's a little odd. So he's going to just live in L.A.?
I mean, he's not that far away from home.
Hey, I wanted to finish off this D Wade stuff on the GQ magazine. They were asked how much does Donovan Mitchell play into his ownership to taking a piece of the Jazz. He says a lot. He played a lot into it. That's my little brother. Definitely have taken a big brother role in his life. To have a relationship with him and know that it's going to continue. Well, you hope, as long as he doesn't get sick of Rudy Gobert. That's not part of my answer. I'm just throwing it in there. It feels right. It's cool, man. I get to continue to impart my knowledge of the game to him. He's 24 years old. There's a lot more growth that he can do. Already a critical player in our league. Yeah, he has been awesome. We'll give him that.
Yes, he has.
I'm excited to give back whatever I've learned, so his career will be greater than even mine. All right, slow your roll, bro. Love you, D Wade, but come on, man. And then the guy asked,
they do have a lot of similarities, except
well, except yeah, I mean,
he's a better shooter.
Yeah, well, wasn't Wade's thing. He's a shot maker, not a shooter.
Game Boy said, Game Boy 305 says, like, I would name that this Fin Up show. I would name it the show Check Down.
And then the guy asked, your love of Donovan Mitchell has made a few people upset. Bam Adebayo says you're taking too long to answer his text now. He goes, yeah, he got hard on me about that. It's jokes. It's all love. He did text me, and I didn't text him back, and that's what he was on me about. But I'd even look at my text at the time. Yeah, sure. It's tough because I mentor a lot of guys. I'm a teammate to a lot of these guys, but now I'm jumping into ownership, and I got to keep the relationship with certain guys and try not to cross that line. I want those guys to keep our relationship exactly how it was and never look at me as someone who's in ownership or someone that's trying to recruit. Yeah, you better not recruit Bam Adebayo. I'll be so Wade. I'd never be mad. I'd be so mad at you if you recruited Bam Adebayo to Utah.
Oh, what are you trying to say?
Don't do it.
What are you trying to say?
Don't do it. I want to keep our relationship exactly how it was. I never want them to look at somebody's ownership and try to recruit somebody.
I'm sensing the low.
No.
Okay.
He also says, that's my little brother, Bam, just like Donovan. I'm always going to be there for information I can pass along of the game or in business.
Okay.
All right. Well, listen, don't even mention the word recruit and Bam next to each other. All right. That made me very nervous, especially since we know Donovan Mitchell hates Rudy Gobert. You know, maybe he gets Riley a couple of glasses in all of a sudden one time on a wine night. And he goes, you've always wanted that big Pat. You know? Oh, that would make me furious.